Welcome to the third lecture of circuit theory, and we are discussing the module 1, which is basics of circuit. And in this lecture we will know the network reduction, voltage division, current division and other numerical examples. So coming towards the first topic, the network reduction technique is an important aspect which is used to solve the network. And in electrical, if you have a complex network in which different elements are connected in series and parallel, then to get the output, when we apply some input, we need to resolve this complex circuit. So the different techniques are used either by calculating the input and output impedance to find the input and output current, input and output voltage and other. So this topic will be discussed in more detail in 5th unit, but in today's lecture our focus will be the current division and voltage division. Current division, what is given? You will be given a certain value of current and different electrical elements which are connected in parallel, and we have to find the value of current flowing through different components. Now the question is, what is the current division in series circuit? So for this, let us consider an example having a different components. This may be current, voltage, battery, sources, and between A and B point, and we have current entering at point A is I and the value is R, L, C and E. Then if I ask you that what is the current flowing through R1, L, C and E, you will say that it will be same as I, because in series the current is constant or current doesn't change. This point will help you while solving the network theorems like Thevenin and Norton theorem, where you have to find the equivalent resistance. What we do in that, we assume a current in the circuit and we see that which current is being, where the at which point the current is being divided and in which elements current are same. All those elements in which current are same are connected in series, and all those elements in which the current is distributing are connected in parallel. So simply, if this is the voltage V, then the same voltage as in parallel, the voltage is constant or voltage doesn't change. So voltage across R1 and voltage across R2 both will be the same and equal to V. So if we have given the voltage, I value the resistance, I1 can be calculated as I1 is equal to V upon R1, simply I2 is equal to V upon R2, and the total current I is nothing but the sum of I1 and I2. So we can put the value and get the answer as V R1 plus R2 divided by R1 R2. We can also solve by calculating the equivalent resistance. Equivalent resistance of this circuit is R equivalent, can be given as R1 is in parallel combination with R2, and so R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Simply I is equals to V upon R equivalent. Putting the value of R equivalent, we get the answer, and you can see that this answer and this answer both are same. So it doesn't matter we are solving in which manner, the answer will always be same. Now if you are not given the value of voltage and you are given the value of current, then how to find the current? A simple way is to, we know that I is equals to V upon R, and if I want to calculate the current in I1, it will be I1 R1, then R is nothing but R equivalent. So R equivalent can be this, and putting the value and cancelling R1 I will get I1 upon R2 R1 plus R2. In the same manner, considering V is equals to I2 R2, so we will get I2 R2 R1 plus R2 divided by R1 R2. Here R2's will be get cancelled, so I1 R1 divided by R1 multiplied by R1 plus R2. In the same manner, so what we are getting, if we solve the equation 6, we will get I1 is equals to R2 divided by R1 R2 multiplied by I, and I2 as R1 divided by R1 plus R2, R1 divided by R1 plus R2 multiplied by I. I am giving you a trick to find current in such network. The trick is, if you have two parallel paths having R1 and R2, and if you have current I and corresponding I1 and I2, when you are calculating I1, the trick is to forget about the R1. You have to write the other branch resistance R2 divided by R1 plus R2 and multiplied by total current. In same manner, when you are calculating I2, forget about the resistance of this branch and write the other branch resistance, which is R1 divided by R1 plus R2 multiplied by total current I. And you can see that this current is same. And if you have more than two branches, this is very much important. If we have a number of branches, I am considering 4 branch, and let's say I1, I2, I3 and I4, resistance R1, R2, R3 and I4, total current is I. So we have to find current I1, I2. I am writing for all. Look carefully. So we know that the current is inversely proportional to resistance, so we will write 1 upon R1 in numerator, then 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3 and so on. For any number of parallel path we can write. For I2, simply 1 upon R2 and all these components which are written multiplied by total current. For I3, 1 upon R3 divided by the same, and for I4 it is simply 1 upon R4 divided by the same. This will help you in solving the complex and gate numericals. Voltage division, as we know that in parallel the voltage is same, or we can say that if we measure the voltage across any 2 points, then if we are connecting our voltmeter, then the voltmeter always measures the potential between these 2 points, and if you are a number of elements connected in parallel, then the voltage across each element is same. So the voltage division is always used for the series circuit, because in series the voltage is different. So in this case what we can say that the voltage is same, so we can say that the total voltage is equals to voltage across R1 first resistance plus voltage across R2 that is second resistance, and the VR1 is nothing but, if we have assumed a current I, then it is I into R1, and it is I into R2. So we have to find the value of VR1 and VR2, and for that we have to find the total current flowing in the circuit. Now how can we find the total current? The total current is nothing but the E upon equivalent resistance, and both these resistances are connected in series. The value will be R1 plus R2. Here it is written in small, so okay, small. So I is equals to E upon R1 plus R2, and V1 is equals to I into R1. And simply, if we don't know the value of I, then E1 can be written as E multiplied by R1 upon R1 plus R2, and I am writing here why this happens. We can write, let the voltage across the first resistance is E1 according to this notation. So E1 is I into R1 and I is E upon R1 plus R2. So it is nothing but a simple calculation, or R1 divided by R1 plus R2 multiplied by E. In the same manner, E2 can be written. So this is a simple voltage and current division. Now we will solve some numericals to get some better ideas. In this question, this is a simple question coming in GATE of 1 marks. What is the question? The question is to find the value of Vx. The Vx, it seems to be complex, but it is not. Why? Because we can say that the voltage is the sum of these 2 ohm plus this 4 parallel 4 means 2 ohm, 10 parallel 10 means 5 ohm, and 1 ohm resistance. So total, if we find the Vx, that is voltage across this 4 ohm, is nothing but 2 divided by 2 plus 2 plus 5 plus 1 and multiplied by the total voltage 10. So it is 2 volt, and this is our answer. This is our next question. In this we have to find the current flowing through R1, R2, R3 and R4. So first of all, writing the generalized equation, current flow through R1 can be written as IR1, and this value is I1 upon R1 divided by 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3 and so on. We have 4 branches, so we are limiting to 1 upon R4. In this case, we know that just this parameter is changing, rest are constant, so we can better write it as 1 upon R1 R3 plus R4 multiplied by the value of resistance for which we are calculating the current. Again, writing IR1, this can be written as total current 35, 1 upon 5 plus 1 upon 10 plus 1 upon 10 plus 1 upon 15 into 1 upon 5. When we solve, we get that this value is equals to 15 amp and this value is 75. So in our next current calculation, like for R2, what we do, we multiply 75 by 1 upon R2, or 75 into 1 upon 10 is equals to 7.5 ampere. Again for R3, what we do, we multiply this by R3 and R3 is again 10, so this will be again 7.5 ampere, and IR4 is 75 into 1 upon R4 and this value will be 1 upon 15, so 5 ampere. And when we add all this value, we will get that the total current is 35 ampere, which justify our answer. Now the last question of today's lecture. In this we have to find the current in all these three resistances. So assume current I1, I2 and I3. We have to find the value of I1. I1 is nothing but V upon R1. V is 6 and R1 is 1K. So this is 6 milliampere. Here milli means 10 raised to power minus 3, and in the same manner if K means 10 raised to power 3. These notation should be known. In the same manner I2 is equals to V upon R2 and this will be 6 upon 3K, that is 2 milliamp. I3 is equals to V upon R3 and this will be 6 upon 2K, that is 3 milliampere. These are the answers. So that's all for today's lecture. In next lecture we will continue the fourth lecture. Thank you.